Welcome back. My luxurious fleet, and Lexus is rolling out 2 new leasing programs for Lexus. I'll see you on the other side, and let's get into it. Back in September, I went to Chicago for training on the new UX that was going to be released in the following December. And at that training event, they let us know that they were going to unveil and launch a new leasing service for the UX in very specific areas. Chicago, Miami, New York, and as well as LA were just some of the ones they were talking about at the time. We never really heard anything back. Now, my region being in Nebraska, they of course were not even on the radar for anything of that. Now, just a couple days ago, we finally got news. I'm just now getting around to doing this video just because I've had so much content to sift through and I work a full-time job. So let's just get into the complete lease from Lexus over here. Let's get into it. All right, so Lexus has decided to call it Lexus Complete Lease. One simple monthly payment. And we'll get into, we're not going to watch that video. You guys are welcome to head over to lexus.com/Lexus Complete to check this out. Details. Let's see if I can zoom in for you because it's kind of smooth. Okay, Lexus lease and services right here. The Lexus Complete Lease is a 2-year, 20,000 miles, so 10,000 miles a year, exclusively on the UX through Lexus Financial Services. It's currently offered in California, Florida, Illinois, some people pronounce the S, Indiana, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and may be expanded to other states in the future. As part of one convenient monthly payment, the Lexus lease also features 2 years of included connected services, including SiriusXM, Lexus Inform Remote, and Destination Assist on navigation-equipped models. To give you an idea, Lexus Inform Remote is a 1-year trial, I guess you could say, if you buy a new Lexus, and so is Destination Assist. That is a 1-year trial if you buy a brand new Lexus. So that's pretty cool that they include that for 2 years for the lease. That's pretty snazzy. Insurance and maintenance. To make the leasing experience even more streamlined, this program also incorporates insurance and an all scheduled maintenance costs. Hell yeah. $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000 for the length of the lease, plus tire and wheel coverage. So if you destroy your tire and wheel, well, it looks like we have a tire and wheel service at our dealership, and if you hit a road hazard or curb it, but you can't say it curb. If you curb your wheel, you're out of luck. But if you say, oh, I don't know what happened, and your wheel and tire get destroyed, then it is covered by the wheel and tire program that we offer, but you have to pay extra for that. That is included here in the UX, and I'm sure it's probably pretty similar in that they'll refinish the wheel if you damage it. Or possibly even replace the wheel and tire if they are destroyed, which would be pretty cool. You really don't have to worry about anything in the lease. And an excess wear and use allowance. I don't know what that would mean. Well, there are asterisks here. We're not going to dive into that. Auto liability and physical damage coverage with a $500 deductible is provided through Travelers Insurance. See dealer coverage, blah, blah, blah. And that might vary from state to state. So you can see here just what the Lexus dealerships are. Wow, this JM Lexus looks really nice. So does this one in Newport Beach, California. I'm sure all of these are like this one in Sarasota. I've been to Sarasota. I used to live south of Sarasota. That one doesn't look that nice, but I can't believe there's a lot of retirees down there. So they're probably like, oh yeah, 2-year UX, a little grocery getter, a little, date car with the old retired people. That's kind of what the UX would be for in that area. And then at the bottom, there's a bunch of Q&As. The big one here, what is the price for the Lexus Complete Lease? I wish there was a flat rate, right? U.S. Postal Service knows how to do a flat rate. Why can't there be a flat rate for leasing this vehicle? I know things come up like credit score, and insurance is a tricky one because if you have a terrible driving record, for example. But it's just like, man, how much easier would it be? Like, all that shit is so complicated. Just, hey, $800 a month. There it is. $800 a month, your insurance, all these extra things are paid for. I don't know why that can't be done. And why can't they just be honest and straightforward, right? Everyone wants to make the most amount of money, travelers being one of them, insurance company. They're not going to give a flat rate on insurance, but man, how nice would it be? And we're going to get into a possibility of the future here in a second. Over at Asian Review, I've never been to this website, but this is the only website I've seen that have this news on it. So Toyota is going to let drivers, so this is in Japan, by the way. Well, let's just read the article. Holy cow, I get so ahead of myself. Toyota rolls out Lexus subscriptions for $1,800 a month. New service offers a fresh car every 6 months for ownership shy spenders. So you're going to see why they're doing this, because in Japan, buy rates right now are extraordinarily low compared to where they were in the past. So we're just going to dive into that here. So they're going to be able to do this through a subscription service that will test how the sharing model fares in Japan's flagging auto market. Yada, yada, yada. We don't want to hear about Cadillac. Lexus subscriptions will start Wednesday in Tokyo and expand to other cities this summer. Users will be able to take out 3-year subscriptions, letting them to swap every 6 months to any 6 Lexus hybrid models on through a new joint venture called Kinto. That's pretty cool. So if it's 3 years and it's every 6 months, you can swap out 6 different times. So that's really, really cool and pretty excited. Now there are 6 different cars, at least I just found out these are all hybrids, but how neat is that? Just really cool. To me, this is the future of leasing. People don't want to buy cars anymore. They fall apart. They're pieces of crap. Yes, I know Toyotas are the king and Lexus is the king of all automakers, but no one wants to dump all this money up front into a depreciating asset. It's one of the worst purchases you can buy, and I'm saying this as a car salesman. Cars are really, really, really tough purchases for, let's just say, millennials, people who are used to renting things. We don't have a lot of money up front to just buy things, put money down to get the payments low enough. So leasing is really our only option here. Now, this is an extreme scenario where $1,800 a month would never be feasible for most people out there. However, we can speculate more on this here at the end. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself and get really excited. Toyota has generally tried to predict where markets lie and tested the waters before crossing. But this time we're making the first move even though things are still unclear. That's good. Well, to me that's saying they're desperate. They're already behind. They can't sell enough cars. So they need to do something innovative, and to me this is the best way to do it. Yes, this service is geared to people who have a lot of money to spend. I agree with that. But you got to start with something that's a little bit more conservative and low volume to test the waters. The Kinto Select service requires no down payment. The tax-inclusive price tag also covers registration fees, voluntary insurance, automotive taxes, and other costs, cutting down on the paperwork that comes with buying the car. As a salesperson, I hate paperwork. I don't think there's any salesperson that likes doing paperwork. It's ridiculous. It's so obnoxious. And that's why also the Lexus Complete service is a thing as well, because the paperwork is much more minimal. That is definitely a huge step forward for Lexus. Every time users switch, they can pick a new model of one of 6 available: RX, NX, UX, ES, IS, and RC. These have starting prices of 4.25 million to 6 million yen before fees. Well, I'll just tell you here, UX is around $40,000 MSRP. The most expensive ones are going to be the RX and RC, which are going to be in the mid 50s. So there's about, a $15,000 jump from a UX to an RX, but I still think this is to me, I've talked about this months and months ago when I talked about this in my first complete lease video. This is what they needed to do, something similar to this, be able to get in and out of cars in a very short period of time. This is 6 months. It's much shorter than a 2-year lease, for example, that you see here in the States with that UX, but this is the future. I think this is where, they have to be honest. Conventional auto leases generally cover a single model at a time, making Kinto Select ability to choose from multiple cars a unique feature. Users can also skip the procedures associated with renting or sharing a car by other means. The automaker will judge how the service performs in Tokyo before looking to expand it to the rest of Japan, and then hopefully to the rest of the world. The Japanese new auto market has shrunk to roughly 2/3 of the 1990 peak, with Toyota's 2018 sales of 1.56 million units down just a whopping 40% from 1990. Under conventional sales methods, sales would fall to 1.2 million units by 2025, according to estimates the automaker has shared with the heads of distributor companies. Toyota is fighting desperately to keep domestic output above 3 million vehicles a year and sales above 1.5 million units. Monthly paid subscription models have grown popular in areas as diverse as music, movies, high-end apparel, as consumers continue to shift away from ownership. For Kinto, this means competition will come from many directions. It's possible players from a range of sectors will enter mobility services. Lexus, you cannot stop there. You cannot stop in Japan, in Tokyo. You have to spread this worldwide. If you do this, everyone else will be chasing you. You guys have the most resources, arguably the most resources, as well as some of the best infrastructure to be able to do something like this. You need to move volume that way. You need to get people into new cars. This is a great way to get people into new cars. Short lease terms, fixed rate, wide selection. Like it's one of the best things I've seen Toyota, well, just in the car industry recently, to be honest. But you can't stop there. You can't stop in Tokyo. It's got to spread to the rest of the world. You know what also you need to do? You also need to have this service with certified pre-owned vehicles. Now, obviously, it needs to be less expensive than new vehicles, but you can also charge a little bit more probably per month, right? You want to get people into new vehicles. That's your first and foremost reason for business, is to get people into new vehicles. But the certified pre-owns, they are stacking up all across the world. I know they are. I'm seeing it firsthand where I work, in certain models especially. Like the ES that has just been replaced, like a lot of the sedans, we just can't move. We have tons of GSs, ESs, and ISs that are just sitting there. LSs too. So there needs to be, they need to get creative here. So there should be some sort of subscription leasing for certified vehicles. In my opinion, or at least they should be thinking about it. That is going to draw a lot more people to your brand. It's going to keep inventory circulating, because right now it's just stagnant, at least probably in a lot of the Midwest and with those models I'm talking about. So ideally in the future, you would be able to lease a car for as little as, let's say, a month long. And it's a subscription. So let's say you pay $1,000 a month and you get access to tons of different models from that luxury automaker. And it keeps people within the brand too. There are going to be some third-party companies that buy a bunch of vehicles from all the automakers and start doing this if the dealerships don't. If a third-party company has a whole bunch of exotics that does a leasing program, or a whole bunch of luxury cars that does a leasing program, you can get in and out of cars as often as you want for a fixed rate. To me, that's the future. No one wants to own these. Let's say this. I don't think it's a great idea for a lot of people, if they have a lot of debt, which most people do, to buy a new car. It just doesn't make sense because it's just one of the, like I said, it's one of the worst investments you can make. But I'm going to have to cut this video short. I could rant about this for much longer. It's already probably 20 minutes long. So let me know what you guys think. What should Lexus do, Toyota for that matter as well, to continue to move new units? And what should they do for leasing in general? So I'll see you in the comments below. What do you think of these two leasing programs, the complete lease for the new UX and for Lexus here in the States, and this awesome leasing program in Japan, especially Tokyo right now, and covering a whole bunch of models? I'll see you in the comments below, and until next time, peace. Don't forget to hit that like button, by the way. Subscribe as well.